Everything you knew about flirting online is wrong. Let's be real for a second. You ever find yourself typing out that perfect message, you hit send and then nothing? Like she saw it, but the reply, it's just crickets. So why doesn't it work? Well, here's the harsh truth. Most of us are up big time when it comes to online seduction, especially over WhatsApp. But don't worry, I've got your back. In this video, we're gonna see game-changing secrets that'll take your texting skills from zero to hero. Trust me, after this, you'll never see online flirting the same way again. Stop doing what you've been doing if you want to start winning at online seduction. Alright, first things first, let's talk about that all-important first message. This is where most people stumble right out of the gate. You're eager, you're ready to make a great impression, but here's the thing, if you're coming in with some basic, hey, what's up? type of text, you're already losing her interest. Instead, you need to hit her with something that's going to make her want to respond, something that feels real and genuine. Skip the cliches, skip the generic one-liners, and instead, show her that you're paying attention. Maybe reference something she posted recently, or a shared experience. Like, instead of hey, why not try something like, hey, how did that project you were working on turn out? I'm dying to know if you nailed it. Boom, now you've got her attention. It's personal, it's thoughtful, and most importantly, it shows you're interested in more than just a surface level chat. Now, I know what you're thinking, okay, I've nailed the first message, what's next? Well, here's where it gets interesting. You need to avoid the traps that so many guys fall into. Like, let's talk about emojis. Yeah, they're fun and all, but overdoing it makes you look, well, not serious. Keep it cool, keep it classy. A well-placed emoji can add a little flavor, but if you're flooding the chat with them, it's going to feel like you're trying too hard. And don't even get me started on the whole instant reply thing. Sure, it's nice to be responsive, but if you're always available, she's going to think you've got nothing else in your life. Give it a beat. Let the conversation breathe a little. You're busy, you've got a life, and it's attractive. Remember, mystery is your friend here. Here's the real kicker, stop over-communicating. I know you want to share everything, but texting isn't the place for a novel. Keep it light, keep it fun, and most importantly, keep it to the point. You want to leave her wanting more, not drowning in paragraphs. Now, this is where a lot of people drop the ball creating a real connection. You've got the basics down, but how do you take it from just chatting to something that actually matters? Well, it's all about showing genuine interest. Ask her about her day, her passions, her dreams, and actually listen to what she says. This isn't about just ticking a box. It's about building something real. Oh, and here's a pro tip. Use shared memories to spark new conversations. Maybe you both laughed about something last week, bring that up. It's an instant way to reignite the vibe you had going and shows her that you're thinking about those moments when she's not around. But listen, as much as texting can build a connection, nothing beats the real thing. Face-to-face interaction is where the magic really happens. But here's a trick, use your text to keep the spark alive between those in-person moments. Let's mention something you did together and ask her opinion on it later. It keeps the conversation going and shows her that you value the time you spend together. And hey, we've all been there, you send a message and crickets, no response. It's easy to start spiraling, wondering what went wrong. But here's the deal, not everyone is glued to their phone 24/7, and that's okay. Don't take it personally. Keep your cool, keep your confidence, and know your worth. If she's interested, she'll respond when she can, and if not, well, that's on her, not you. Okay, now for the golden nuggets, the secrets that are going to seriously up your texting game. For the ladies out there, appreciate the effort. If he's showing genuine interest and putting in the work, let him know you see that. A little playful banter goes a long way. And guys, here's a gem for you, don't always give in right away. Keep a little challenge in the mix. Show her you're interested, but don't lay all your cards on the table at once. Keep things exciting, keep her guessing, and most importantly, keep it fun. These tips aren't just about following a script, they're about developing a mindset. It's about confidence, authenticity, and a little bit of mystery that keeps things interesting. So, start practicing these secrets and watch how your conversations start to shift in your favor. Now, here's something that not many people talk about, the art of pacing in your conversations. But ever heard of the phrase, leave them wanting more? Well, this is where it comes into play. You don't have to reply to every message right away. In fact, sometimes it's better to let the conversation cool off a bit before you jump back in. It creates anticipation, and anticipation is the key to keeping things interesting. Think of it like a good movie. You wouldn't want all the best parts crammed into the first 5 minutes, right? You want the build up, the suspense, the moments that make you sit on the edge of your seat waiting for what's next. That's exactly how you should approach your conversations. And hey, if you're one of those people who just has to respond right away, here's a little trick. Put your phone down and go do something else for a bit. Seriously, give yourself some time to breathe and give her some time to wonder what you're up to. When you finally come back with a reply, it'll feel more meaningful, not like you've just been sitting there staring at your screen waiting for her message. Let's also talk about the content of your messages. It's not just about what you say, but how you say it. Tone is everything, and in texting, tone can be tricky because you don't have the benefit of facial expressions or vocal inflections to help convey your message. That's why it's crucial to be mindful of the words you choose and how they might be interpreted. A well-placed joke can be great, but it can also fall flat if it's not clear that you're joking. So don't be afraid to throw in a heya or a lol to make sure your humor comes across as intended. On the flip side, don't overdo it. If every message ends with a lol, it can start to feel a bit insincere. It's all about balance, knowing when to be lighthearted and when to be serious. And remember, if you're in doubt about how a message might be received, just keep it simple and straightforward. There's no need to overcomplicate things. Here's another key point: ask questions that invite more than just a yes or no answer. You want to keep the conversation flowing, not shutting it down with one-word responses. So instead of asking, "Did you have a good day?" try something like, "What was the best part of your day?" Or "Tell me something that made you smile today." These kinds of questions open the door for more meaningful interactions and give her a chance to share more about herself, which is exactly what you want. The more she shares, the more invested she becomes in the conversation and in you. Now, let's not forget the importance of positivity in your messages. I can't stress this enough. No one wants to be around negativity, especially not in a conversation that's supposed to be fun and engaging. Keep the vibe light, keep it positive, avoid complaining or bringing up topics that could bring the mood down. Even if you've had a rough day, try to focus on the good parts, or at least keep your messages neutral. The goal here is to create a space where she feels good talking to you, where she knows that no matter what, the conversation is going to leave her feeling better than before. And speaking of creating a good vibe, let's talk about compliments. Compliments are great. They make people feel good. They show that you're paying attention, and they can really boost the connection you're building. But here's the thing, compliments have to be genuine. Don't just throw them out there because you think it's what she wants to hear. Take the time to notice something specific about her and compliment that. Maybe it's something she mentioned in a previous conversation or something you noticed about her profile picture. Whatever it is, make sure it's real and from the heart. And here's a little secret: compliments that go beyond the physical are even more powerful. Sure, telling her she's beautiful is great, but what if you told her she has an amazing sense of humor, or that you love how passionate she is about her hobbies? These kinds of compliments show that you're interested in more than just her looks, that you're interested in her as a person. Now, let's touch on something that's super important but often overlooked: handling silence in the conversation. We've all been there. Things are going great, the conversation is flowing, and then suddenly nothing. It's like someone hit the pause button, and you're left wondering what happened. First things first, don't panic. Silence doesn't necessarily mean something's wrong. Sometimes people just get busy or they're thinking about how to respond. The key is to give it space and not rush to fill the void with more messages. Let the silence be, and trust that if the connection is strong, the conversation will pick back up naturally. But if the silence drags on and you're feeling anxious about it, there's nothing wrong with sending a casual follow-up. But just keep it light and pressure-free, like, "Hey, just checking and hope your day's going well." This gives her an easy out if she was busy, and it keeps the door open for her to re-engage when she's ready. And here's a pro tip: don't be afraid to mix things up a bit. If the conversation is starting to feel a bit routine, throw in something unexpected. Maybe send a funny meme or a song that reminded you of her, or ask her opinion on something random but interesting. Keeping the conversation dynamic and unpredictable is a great way to keep her engaged and excited to hear from you. As we start to wrap things up, remember this. The ultimate goal of these conversations isn't just to impress her or keep her entertained. It's to build a real connection, a connection that's based on mutual respect, genuine interest, and a shared sense of fun. If you can do that, you're already miles ahead of the game. At the end of the day, texting is just one piece of the puzzle. It's a tool to help you connect, to keep the conversation going, and to build anticipation for when you can finally hang out in person. So use it wisely, but don't rely on it entirely. The real magic happens when you take that connection offline and bring it into the real world. So to sum it all up, stop doing what everyone else is doing and start standing out. Be genuine, be thoughtful, and keep the conversation fun and engaging. Avoid the common pitfalls like over-communicating, relying too much on a meet Josh, or being too available. Instead, focus on building a connection that's real, that's based on who you both are, and that's full of positive vibes and mutual respect. Now that you've got these powerful tools in your arsenal, it's time to put them to work. Start practicing these tips in your conversations and watch as your interactions start to transform. Remember, it's all about balance, showing interest without overdoing it, keeping things fun but real, and always leaving her wanting more. All right, there you have it, some powerful tools to level up your WhatsApp game and start building those connections that really matter. Remember, it's all about balance, showing interest without overdoing it, keeping things fun but real, and always leaving her wanting more. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead, send that message and see what happens next.